Hi, I'm Justin Caffrey. Thanks for joining me on another video where we're discussing and exploring the vagus nerve, the autonomic nervous system, and our capacity to intervene in stress, anxiety, and other challenges within this modern living that we're all facing. Most importantly, please make sure that you have your own medical advice in order, that you understand your physiological needs, your mental needs. Before you practice anything on my YouTube channel, seek advice and check out with your professional that this is okay for you to practice. Otherwise, please enjoy. So hi and welcome to another video exploring the vagus nerve. And in particular, we're looking at the parasympathetic approach today, the rest and recovery. So you may have been directed to this video because you're working with me directly, or you may be just interested in understanding our immense capacity to be able to shift our states of being. That for many years we thought the autonomic response was outside of our control, but we have learned over the years through research, especially since the 90s, looking at MRI scans, that we have a capacity to intervene. And this can be done in a multiple of ways, from cold water, meditation, and breath work. Today I'm going to be looking at a very simple technique, which is called the hand pressing technique. And I use this especially when I'm working with people who are struggling with anxiety and stress, and they're starting on the path to recovery. Quite often it can be difficult to get such people to move directly into meditation. And equally, it's important to note that sometimes moving to meditation when you're in a very stressed and anxious state can actually make things even worse. So there's a point at which we start to teach the nervous system that we want it to understand that it can move away from the sympathetic state, the fight, flight, and freeze, and it can move across to the parasympathetic state, the rest and recovery. And often in modern day living, we can be stuck in this sympathetic state, like a low-grade anxiety. It's kind of always throbbing in the background, and it doesn't take an awful lot to stimulate it. Any type of stress and boom, it flares up. Because we used to be very much in a situation where we only needed this sympathetic response, the fight and flight, when there was a risk or danger. But modern living creates stress in emails and social media, work stress, the pandemic, stress in terms of family relationships. All of these things compound a situation where the body can be in this perpetual state of stress. So, how do we intervene? I'm going to show you a really simple exercise. And if you've been working with me, you'll have already been told how many times you need to do this. But if you want to try it out and you want to bring it into your day, I would suggest not meditating whilst you're doing these exercises, and to try them for 10 to 14 days for them to really take effect. But you should generally get a pretty good sense of a physiological change in your body even after you do the first one. And there's 4 component parts to this little exercise. Part 1, we'll take a deep breath in. Part 2, we're going to breathe out slowly and exit all of the air from our lungs. Part 3, we then hold our breath while our lungs are empty. And part 4, we're going to be pressing our left hand hard into our right hand, almost like a prayer-like shape, but we're really pushing the left and the right side of the body hard into each other. And we're going to keep doing that whilst we're holding our breath until we hit that moment where the autonomic nervous system needs to, within a reflex, take in a large amount of air. So it's almost not dissimilar in many ways to the sense you would get if you were swimming underwater and then you were swimming up to the top, and then suddenly you get to the top of the water and it's like so it's a great relief breath in many ways. And you may get a similar feeling to a feeling that is something that you've had in the past. So for a lot of us, we'd have to go back to our childhood to have those memories where we maybe just have been about to get into some terrible trouble for breaking something or being caught with matches or smoking or whatever else from our parents, and then we get away with it. So it's that anticipatory build-up of stress and then the release. I've got away with it. That feeling, we often have to go back to our childhood because so many of us are now caught in this perpetual state of low-grade anxiety. The nervous system is fired up and always on, and sometimes that can lead to it being burnt out. And that leads to all kinds of challenges, both in terms of mental anxiety, stress, depression, but also physiological outcomes as well. And a lot of research now to show the connection between stress and anxiety to autoimmune diseases. So there's many other attributing factors and reasons why we should take care of our mental health, not just for the mind, but for the body. So if you do like my channel and you do like what I do, please make sure you like and subscribe. Put a comment down below if you tried this, and I'm going to demonstrate now how to do it, and then you can do it yourself. And as I say, if you want to try it as a practice, incorporate it 3 to 6 times a day. Some people are working with me, you may have to do it 9 times, but do it in sections of 3. So do 3, take a break for a couple of minutes, do 3, take a break for a couple of minutes, and then do 3. So try with 6 and see how you get on, but you must be consistent. So you got to stick at it for 10 to 14 days. Start to feel a little bit of a shift and a change in the general sense of how you feel within the mind and the body. And remember, we are one organism. This is not about treating one symptom. This is about helping us manage the body. And in turn, this exercise will help you be able to get to a better regulatory state within your own balance and equilibrium in your body, which will lead to you being able to better build a meditation practice, which is the better long-term solution. So here we go. So let's start with the inhale. Exhale all the air out. Hold the breath. Push. There we go. See how you feel. I always enjoy it. Just move into it slowly, carefully, and most importantly, have a good sense of what's right for you and your body.